What up, bass heads, man? I ain't seen y'all live in a minute, but we're here today. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ted and I talk bass. I got a few things I want to share. I'm not feeling too great today. a little bit. I feel a little bit of a bug coming on, but that's okay. There's a few things I want to share with you. First, listen, Father's Day is coming up. I don't like to hold a cup over my computer with hot coffee in it. But this is a Funk Communion mug. Father's Day is coming up, and then in the description of this video, you get 15% off the entire shop until Father's Day. All right? So do with that what you will. Another thing that I want to share with you guys, I have no real agenda, no real order, but I am going to share some things with you. I spent some time revamping my own site yesterday, which is probably not helping me shake this bug. But yeah. Nope, that's not what I want to show you. Oh boy. Here we go. It's not sitting in my lap. TEDTalksBass.com. We're back in it. And I want to talk about some things that I'm changing here. I've been, talking about Groove School for 2 years now. And, I've built some materials, some courses and things like that. One guy running a one-man operation here. But I want to show you the About page. And I'm going to get to my point here. This is kind of my deal. I saw something recently and said, all you need to know is blah, 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 blah. Which I think is very misleading. And I don't think the person is being intentionally misleading. I think misleading. I think the internet is what it is. It's short bursts of information, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, whatever. Now, I think whenever you hear or even think for yourself, all you need to know is, that's dangerous territory in all aspects of your life. Why? Because the moment I say, or you say, all I need to know is, then you've already limited yourself, right? There may be times when you're like, I don't know what's going on with my, moment that you say, all I need is blah, 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 you're limiting yourself. You're already putting something on yourself. You're limiting yourself, full stop. So that doesn't mean that there aren't survival skills that you need to know. In my experience as a player and as an educator, both in my own private studio and in the school system, is that it's easy to become overwhelmed. It's easy to, however, right, in the school system, for those who don't know, I was a school teacher, a band director for 11 years. And as a music teacher, you know that you're going to have 3 major concerts or performances a year. You're going to have 3. You're going to have some sort of a spring showcase. You're definitely going to have a Christmas or a holiday thing. And I can't remember what the other one was. But you'll also have, different little pop-up performances throughout the year. So there's that, and then there's state standards, right? State that, by this grade, a student should be able to do X, Y, and Z, right? This is the state standards. This is the rubric, right? So as an educator, particularly elementary and middle school, you got to find things that are pedagogically sound, right? i.e., they are teaching something that meets the standard and are also going to lead us to these performances, right? 15% off until Father's Day. The entire shop. Quit playing. 15% off. The link is in the description. These joints came out good. All right. So anyway, so you have that. But there's always something else, right? There's always something else. And over the last 2 years, let me get back to this, man. Over the last 2 years of dedicating my time to YouTube and my own learning materials and whatnot, there's a lot of like emotions and, trying to find your place and all that stuff. And where do I fit in the space? And everybody's got the next, big thing, right? And here's what I'm settling on is that there is no one size fits all. There is no one size fits all. There is no one person, course, book, anything that's just going to do everything for you. I double down on my 2 questions. What kind of music do you want to play? Who do you want to play it with? If you answer those questions honestly, they will help to guide you to listen. I've had a lot of teachers on bass. Not a lot, but I've had a few. And I may get to one person and I'm like, okay, this guy's telling me all this. Okay, I'll give you an example. Back in the olden days when when I used to have to get him, there was no Skype lessons or anything. I got in my car and went to go see this guy, right? Well, you have some teachers that they just trying to supplement their gig income, right? And when gigs are slow or whatever, so it became obvious. I'm not saying everybody's like this, but I had some people that I was like, okay, they stringing me along because every time I come here is $75, and if they can string me along, they can budget. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And until when you first start learning, you're like, I don't know what I don't know, and I don't really know what I want to know. Well, I'm telling you that if you answer the questions, what kind of music do you want to play? Who do you want to play it with? If you answer those questions honestly, and this is my opinion, this shit ain't law. This is my opinion. I feel very strongly about this opinion, but this is my opinion, right? And you got it. But I feel strongly that if you can answer those questions, you'll save yourself a lot of time and money. Because if you can have a conversation about all of the most complicated whatever, but you can't play rock steady, then you're absolutely useless as a bass player, as a musician, period. You know what do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of cats that could talk a lot of theory stuff and can't play nothing, and there's a lot of And then there's a lot of folks that don't know jack about theory that they can play and they can feel and they can communicate and all that stuff. And I think balance is important. Now, I don't know any musician that's worse off from knowing some theory. None. I don't know a musician that's worse off from knowing theory. I'm just putting that out there. All right. But while we're here, I want to, this is a good time for me to show off all the web work I did yesterday. And this is who I am, right? I help bass players make bass make sense. It's a tongue twister, right? I am a working bassist, an educator, creator. I've built, like I said before, practical tools for bass players who want to stop guessing, understand, and groove and play with more confidence. That's really what I do around here. I think that, excuse me, told you I wasn't feeling well. And along the way, I've kind of learned how to be a web developer as well. Told you I was a one-man operation. I want to show off some of the things that we have here. And you can go to tedtalksbass.com. tedtalksbass.net will also lead you here. Functional fitness is one that just dropped. Excuse me. It's a 30-day program. 30-day program that is, as the name suggests, it is a fitness program. So let me explain that. Jesus. Excuse me. Pardon me. It is a fitness program. Now, hang on a second. I'm not a fitness influencer, but if you've been around here any length of time, you know that I work out pretty regularly. I believe that bodies in motion stay in motion. I believe that movement is the key to longevity. I'm 55 and I still feel like, except for today, I still feel like I did in my 30s, at least in my 30s. But I move. Movement is important. So it is set up. It's a 30-day wellness program that has a meditative component to it. And the meditation is in the form of bass practice, a guided bass practice through 30 days. And at the end of that 30 days, you're going to understand harmony and your instrument neck far better than you do right now. Guarantee it. And there's Bass Note Master, the visual fretboard trainer. Of course, there's a link to the YouTube channel and the Pocket Shop. Again, there's a description in the link. A link in the description. 15% off up until Father's Day. Go get you some stuff. This is now my new favorite mug. Let's look at the mug. You see it's like the Funk Communion. You got James Brown, Sly Stone, Larry Graham, Sugarfoot, Roger Troutman, Rick James, D'Angelo, George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, Bernie Worrell, Betty Davis, Prince, and Larry Blackmon. That is, baby. So, anyway, answer the questions. I haven't gone live in such a long time. Such a long time. It's been a few days. But I did want to pop in, say hello, and just give some thoughts real quick and really double down on my philosophy. Answer the questions. What kind of music moves you? What kind of music drives you? What kind of music do you want to play, and who do you want to play it with? Okay? If you can answer those questions, I'm not telling you those are the only, I'm not telling you that that's the only, that's not the stopping place. Where does this come from? This comes from when I was a kid. I started playing bass at 13. And there was this very specific thing that I was attracted to. You know, grew up in the 80s, so there was Prince and there was Europop. There was all this shit, right? I was into Def Leppard. There were all these things. And so I let those things guide me. Okay? I let those things guide me. And then there came a point, but I was always paying attention, right? So then it came to a point where it was like, okay, this isn't enough. Well, what is that, and how can I do that? You understand what I'm saying? And then it's this constant process of reverse engineering. You know what I mean? Listen, none of us learns how to speak by reading books. None of us learns how to speak by getting. Let me give you this analogy before I land the plane. And if you want to connect with me one-on-one, you can get me at ted@tedtalksbass.com. Contact me at the website and let's set something up. But here's the thing. Let's imagine this. And mostly all of us have been through this as children. You're a child and you have a mom, a dad, a brother, sister, a cousin, or something. And you are rolling a ball. But you're a toddler. First of all, you don't know what the ball is. You don't know what it is. You have no name for it. You have no context for it. Nothing. But you see this thing and it makes you happy. It makes you feel good. You don't even know that this motion is called rolling. I just want you to put yourself in the mindset of being like a toddler, right? You don't even know. And so then you hear somebody say, roll, roll, roll. And then somewhere in your mind, it connects with you and you're like, oh shit, whatever this motion is, it's called roll, right? You're a child. It rolled, roll, roll, right? And then you learn that the object is a ball. Come on, we were all kids once. How many? Ba. Do you have kids? Do you know kids? Say ball, ba, roll, ba, right? That's what we do. We're children. This is a horrible time for my fucking camera because I'm on a roll right now. Okay, you guys are just going to have to stick with me because this gets better. Stick with me because this gets better. Okay, so we're kids. We're learning content. You don't even know the context of this ball. All you know is this thing makes you happy. And then you figure out, oh shit, that means roll, right? Then you get some context, right? Then you go to school and you B-A-L-L. Think back to kindergarten, big fat number 2 pencil or number 12 pencil, whatever it is, and you're trying to write your name out like a caveman. Think about that, right? So later you learn the context. Tennis balls, soccer balls, footballs, basketballs. Does this make sense, what I'm saying? But you didn't start off with a freaking manual about balls. Pause. Do you understand what I'm saying? 15% off in the Pocket Shop. Link is in the description. Hopefully somebody's at my door. Sorry, guys. Very nice young lady brought me a medicine bomb, whatever it's called, from Starbucks. There's another idea right there. I don't know if the thing is called a medicine bomb or a medicine ball. Doesn't matter. All I know is it's tea and honey, right? So anyway, that's all I got for today. If you want to connect with me, and what I can do is I can teach you how to hear better, reverse engineer the songs that you know and love and want to play. I can help you make sense so you can finally start playing your bass and stop staring at screens, all right? I can teach you how to teach yourself. Get at me at tedtalksbass.com. Peace.